What's up, world? It's your boy AJ. You know we're coming from Connect KC.
Yes.
Right? Hope everybody doing great. To the right, we got the homegirl Jay.
What's up, Kansas City?
And you know, somebody will bless us with the presents. With the presents, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, last time we did the show and whatnot, he was on, you know, he had some family stuff come up, but we got Pierre in the building.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, so
what's up, KC?
You know, this is our portion that we're doing the panel. You know, I know we brought you Bridging the Gap, you know, where we're interviewing different entrepreneurs and yeah, different talents is here. So this is our other segment, and you know, before we dive into that, before we dive into the segment, you know, let's talk about a couple of things that's happened, you know, this past couple of days. You know, as far as y'all boy, you know, Donald Trump coming to town, and
yeah, you know what I told y'all, stick by. I want him to win. You know what I'm saying? I want to see something pop off. You know, I think something going. If he wins, it's gonna be a civil war. You know what I'm saying?
I have no comment.
Yeah.
nah, I was say it. I need you to say it.
1860 life. You feel me?
I know, cats. They talking about they gonna move to Canada.
Canada's not over their borders. They like, oh no.
They gonna Mexico us.
You need a passport to go there too.
Damn.
No, you need a passport to go to Canada and Mexico. And as bad as Trump's talking about Mexico and Mexicans are putting up the wall and the borders, it's gonna be like, stay behind your wall.
He's not gonna get rid of all the Mexicans. Y'all been down Trump Road? Once you get past
Northeast, they're not going nowhere.
They're not going.
But I like what they do though. I like what you know.
Northeast area is dope. Have you ever just went down there and just, they whole setup is dope.
Yeah,
well,
it's either
diverse.
Mexican or like Vietnamese and Somali. It's dope. The whole setup is dope.
This is a great segue. What you saying right there? You have the Mexicans. You know, got our Mexican families, got the Vietnamese families, and I think it goes straight into what we talking about.
Oh yeah.
You know, maybe a touchy subject or whatnot.
Segregation or integration?
Segregation or integration?
Yeah. We really want.
Yeah.
As a black community. What we want.
What you gotta say about that, Jay?
Well, it's kind of what I say is, I say both. We want segregation, but we want integration as well, because one can't survive without the other.
You gotta explain that. Dive a little bit, you know,
delve deeper.
Yeah, delve
into that shit.
Yeah, okay. As a community, we need segregation to heal. We went from being slaves to being discriminated against to now we're finally a part of this culture. We're quasi accepted. But we still, we still haven't had a chance to heal our wounds, so to speak. We, back in the early times, we had times where we tried to establish where we were in the community. You have the Black Wall Street, you have different areas where we established where we can be doctors and we can be lawyers, and that was taken from us very violently.
Right.
And we still haven't had a chance to heal. You still have parents and great-grandparents and still instilling in their kids that we're the second-rate citizens, and there's the privileged. We allow, there's only privilege because we allow them to be privileged. So in that sense, we need segregation to heal and build on the inside. If you get hurt, you gotta allow your wound to heal. It has to mend from the inside before it is, for that top layer good to go.
Right.
Yeah. So I definitely get you saying we have to heal, but for our people, generally speaking, we looking to be healed by the poisoner. You know what I'm saying? We going to the hospital where we know we getting poisoned, and we looking for that acceptance from somebody who doesn't give a shit about us. They're trying to get rid of us.
So that's what I was gonna say. So where's the integration in?
Well, the integration as a country, we still reside in the same, we still in the same soil. That's the integration part. We still have to be integrated into that realm because we are on that soil. The integration is necessary. I mean, as wonderful as it sounds, yeah, we need to build our own. However, we gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. What how I feel about it. So you're saying integration, segregation, and integration.
You need both of them. They go hand in hand.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. But it's like I like to look at things from like a next step chronological perspective, and I'm gonna say segregation. But when I say segregation, the shit sounds so, like
anti-white.
Yeah, it's like I'm anti-white, but that's just not the case.
Right.
I'm not gonna, throw a blanket statement out and say that, all Europeans, all white folks are evil, or they have this certain way that they feel about us. So I'm not gonna blanket statement that, but I do know that I love my people, and if we're looking to gain acceptance from from elites and things like that don't give a shit about us, it's like I'm looking for that segregation to heal. And it's not going to be a lot of us. It won't be every single black person that converts to that, because you're going to have your Stephen A's that love to be sucking from the white teat, so to speak, because they safe, you get paid every other week to bash your own people. You're going to get your Charles Barkley's. Real company nigga.
Right.
You're going to get your Stevens.
Yeah.
But I'm into working with people just to see.
For the record, house niggas ain't gotta always be light skinned. I just want to say that. They can be dark skinned too.
Steven.
Look at Steven.
Yeah. Okay. I'm listening.
But I love the idea, when you talked about the Northeast area, how you see the Mexicans, how they work together. They don't give a shit about, like they'll support each other. They'll circulate the money with each other.
They do, but if we go with that perspective, the Somalians, the Northeast area, the Somalians, the Mexicans, the Vietnamese, they're still integrated.
Yeah, and I'm getting.
Which is what I'm saying. You still need integration to be.
Even with their integration, there's the way that they operate in their own village or community is not to destroy the other one. But what AJ, it sounds like he's saying is from a chronological standpoint, first being brought from our lands, or us being kings and queens, or where we were in Africa, to being stepped on, spit on, used as bait, raped, pillaged, murdered, to barely given opportunities, to always getting stabbed in the back, to the disparity gap, to like, all right, to having our own, to burning that down. So you look at the time and you say, I don't really want you in the mix of what we got going on. You know what I'm saying?
Totally agree with that. I do.
So we can exist.
We need time to heal.
But we got
create within our own.
Okay.
But that's a whole nother ball game.
It is.
That's a whole nother ball game.
So so I'd like to say, I just don't want to come across anti-white. Right. So I do understand the integration, at certain times, but I think there's a difference between integration and dependency. You know what I'm saying? Like we feel like, I think for our people, we feel like we need white folks to be successful. Like they need to be at the table with us, or we need to be at their table. Right. To be successful, and it's like, fuck that. Right. You know what I'm saying? They can have their table. Right. Okay? Have table, yeah. Vietnamese have their table. Right. Somalians have their table. We need to create our own table.
Well, let's go deeper. If you just go to the laws, the Constitution and some of the rules that are set in place, some of these rules have been set in place, by the Eurocentric point of view, years ago, and they haven't been changed. Yeah. And they were never in our favor. So if we really want to see something from an integration standpoint, well, America has to integrate laws that apply to black people in our favor to some degree. You see what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
So,
But how does that happen when the community itself is not?
Maybe
it's not jailed at all.
Yeah. So it starts with us.
It starts at home.
Yeah, I agree with that. Totally.
Agree.
At home.
It starts with us.
because I know the power that we have. Everyone in this room knows the power that we have, the melanin that we have.
Right.
If you have scientists and doctors that every 3 to 4 years they have a secret meeting trying to figure out how the hell we have this melanin and how we are made from the same dark matter that's out in the fucking universe, they know the power that we have. Okay, there's so many white folks that are just they fear us, and it's like the way of them staying not as fearful is getting rid of us.
Yeah.
And cashing out, finding your Uncle Tom niggas, finding the weak,
cash them out
to come in and infiltrate,
right,
certain black, organizations and things like that.
Right. And so with that, I think it's our duty, since we know that, like, we're in the age of, we know it. It ain't nothing that they can pull off. It's no more what they call it, pulling the sheep, pulling the wool over our eyes. We're past that. So it's our duty and our responsibility to just engage our people with the information and say, look, if you moved a certain way, you will have some form of power.
But it's not about informing. Many people have been informed. We are on the brink of cultural, as black people, cultural and spiritual revolution. It's not that they don't know. It's about getting people out of being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think it's dark.
It's not information. This is the age of information. It's
I'm saying it's the information of saying how do we gather to move in a structure, because we never moved as a. I think Marcus Garvey might have been the only closest person to actually get to black people. So I'm saying from that information, like, how do we move on that level? Because we never moved on that level, so we're ignorant to being able to pull that off. So how do we do that, and then how do we apply? It's like, any type of goal or thing that you set. You get the vision, you get your, what you need to do, and then you go pull it off. I think we at that place right now.
Yeah.
It's gonna take having the stance where Brother Malcolm was. Because if you take
Brother Malcolm?
X, I'm sorry.
No. I'm saying which version of him, before Mecca or post Mecca?
She went.
Wow.
She went there on.
Okay.
Which one?
Well, the post Mecca. Jeez.
Post Mecca, he came back more conscious, looking from a more. The unity standpoint of that was less violent and more structure.
Well, it's like
But pre-Mecca is where he got most of his fan base, so to speak.
That's because he was still in the nation, so he got the power. He had them backing him, but when he went to Mecca and came back, he didn't have, he was pretty much he was kind of speaking against the Nation of Islam, calling them like an offshoot of truth, Islam at that point.
Okay, so where I was heading was just the point, like having the boldness of, okay, you have a certain stance on something. We're not gonna go down to no damn Arby's Theater to protest,
right,
and start throwing bottles and shit at police, right?
Accomplishes nothing.
So I think there's a difference between going down there and provoking. Lights out. It did it. Pre-Mecca, at least from the stance of we're not gonna go down to provoke anything. Right. We're not gonna go down to provoke anything with something that we don't agree upon. Right. But if you come to us, we have answers for you. So I don't know if that was the pre-Mecca or the post-Mecca. Okay.
I want to tag along with that one and say, I think that's the mentality we gotta have in building our own community, is go from an economical structure to a municipality. I want to see Kansas City be breaking into Kansas City East, because we know once you get on another side of truth, Sly James he don't have no, what stamp does he have on that, on East of Truth? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, all love to what he do for his job and all the things that he's accomplished, but when we speak of a group of people that's, living in this urban community, and any other city in America, we can see the same. It's a dividing line. It's how the police are treating those individuals, what type of schools they have, what type of jobs, what type of commercial buildings are in these areas, and what does that city look like? You know what I mean? Once you hit that dividing line, it's like, hey, when do we get to step up and represent for ourselves? Kind of like with Malcolm, pre-Mecca, they had that. They were like, look, don't come over here messing with what, this is our community. Come over here messing with us, you're going to get the issue.
And with that, I mean, if you're going that route in the establishing of our community, let's take it back to the 50s and the 60s and the 40s. There was no separation in the community. If your dad had money and we was poor, you was still my neighbor. So I knew what it felt like to have money, because my homeboy, my sister, her parents have money, they doctors, they lawyers, I can aspire to be them. But post 70s, 80s, we start moving into a new culture, new realm, drugs start coming to communities, all that great stuff. This doctor family has moved out. They moved to Brookside, and we still on 56th and Lydia. Right. And the kids now are like, well, I don't know what it feels like. Or to see, they don't have that example. They don't have that no more because...
It's Tyrone who's slaying crack, and he got a little money. So now the new...
Right. I think that's what our issue is. We're looking for a Messiah. We're looking for someone to save us. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna get reparations, okay?
That's true.
We're not getting it. Fuck the former slave masters or slave owners. They got their reparations. Our Native Americans, they got their reparations. Did the Jews get reparations for the Holocaust?
I don't know. Maybe in Hollywood, I know they pretty much own everything, but I don't know.
But it's like, we're still looking to get the reparations. The shit is not happening.
Nah, it ain't.
Okay,
I think that's why.
That comes, I mean, even with that, looking for, we're waiting on reparations, that's still looking for a handout.
Yeah,
it is.
Exactly.
I think the mismanagement of, I think it's radical, but I think God gave us these talents as black people. I think we the best. You name an industry, we either invented something or we the best at, especially sports and entertainment. We run it, but since that overhead structure is old, you know, we mismanage the gift that we've been given to pretty much. We could control.
Because
we can control all these
nobody's
industries.
using their gifts to actually fortify anything except for, I need to make this money.
Me, myself, and I
make this money, because I mean the thing is, everybody's so caught up in making money. I make this money, make this money, I make this money. What about their money? What about their money? But what happens when money is no longer valuable?
Like it's not. This shit is not valuable right now.
But think about
it's just a dream.
Think about our families down south. At least we say Southern Comfort, right? You go down there, they say we treat people like family. All right, that's black folk. They treat people like family. But as you trickle away from there, you got a different point of view. You don't have a family structure, you know, that tight-knit family or that community feel. So it's like, where did we lose that? What happened to make us lose that? Was that was the integration. Once we got integrated, we lost.
Well, we were never fully, we're not fully integrated, so you can't blame that on integration. That came from a family structure. You start having these young kids, start having young kids, and young kids start having young kids. I mean, if you look at the older generations, they have, even if they were single parents, you had a community bond. You had the village literally raising your kids. Now you don't have the village, because the village, you say something to my kid, they gonna whoop your ass. So, I mean, it starts at home. What happened to that? The home broke up.
Well,
that's like what, mid to late 80s.
The home broke up,
well,
and then everybody found love in the streets.
But post Brown versus Board education was what, 60 or 50?
69 or something.
50 years. We have to look that up.
Google.
Like, yeah. What the hell did we do before Google? It's like encyclopedia. I'm about to pretend to this shit. We about to.
Where's the B encyclopedia?
The finger tab right there, nigga.
That's most people don't even know, you know.
Damn.
People after
That's
us.
horrible. Like
they don't know that.
ABC.
They don't know the
WX.
that encyclopedia life.
Damn, I forgot what I was about to say. Had me on going off on a tangent.
I said something.
Okay, 60s. Okay, so we're talking about, you said something about the home, right?
Yeah.
And we're great at playing our people.